Center Point Energy is very safe.
A health child can make when you choose Anthem Blue
Sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future. CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
After an extended delay, welcome back to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. We're in the top of the 7th inning in Florence, Kentucky. Cannot express to you how deeply, sincerely sorry I am that it took this long to get this broadcast on the air. I hope you know how much we wanted to be on the air here for the first 7 innings, first 6, that is, having been played. It's a 10-5 ball game in the top of the 7th. Florence leads the Otters, that is. Andrew Penner bats to be followed by Justin Felix and Miles Gordon. Kevin Hahn, the right-hander, is on the mound, doing our best to paint the scene for you in Florence, Kentucky. The final of a 3-game series between the Otters and the Yarls. In a 3-game road trip, Otters will be back home tomorrow. Once again, very sincere apologies on technical difficulties. A 2-2 is lined out toward right field, but it hangs up long enough for Connor Crane to be able to pick it up at least on one hop and make sure that Penner can't get to second. Penner aboard with a leadoff single. Otters down by 5 here on the top of the 7th inning. My name is Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have been checking this stream throughout the night, the only thing I can express to you is how badly we wanted to be on the air to bring this whole game to you. I've been fighting some technical difficulties all night long. It's on our line. No problems at all in Florence. Here's a line drive down the right and left for Justin Felix. On the extra bases, the Otters, they're going to come charging right back down their bust. They scored 5 in the top of the 6th inning to tie the game at 5. Unfortunately for them, between Jacob Bowles and Tyler Spring, those pitchers doing their best. The Yarls able to come storming back themselves. Identical 5 spots in the 6th inning. It's a 10-5 game. The Otters going to do their part to battle back, and we are live once more on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. I want to give a big thanks to all the folks here in the press box who were helping us, trying to get back online. It was all hands on deck, something that spans team rivalries. Very thankful to everyone here in the broadcast booth helping us to get back live. Justin Felix aboard now with a double. Andrew Penner over at third. Our sincerest apologies in the time it took to get back on the air, but here's hoping just in time for the Otters to rally in what would be their biggest come-from-behind victory of the season. They're down 5. They have 3 innings to go. Once again, you're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. We'll try to give you a scoring recap of all that went down going forward. But there is baseball afoot. Kevin Hahn, he's into his 7th inning of work. He's worked 6+, 8 hits, 5 runs for the Otters. They scored all 5 in the top of the 6th. First pitch to Miles Gordon misses low and inside, 1-0. Miles Gordon. Finally to get back on the air. There's been a lot of baseballs going on. I wish I could tell what everyone's done immediately. We'll have that information immediately. Ground ball to the right side, off the glove, the diving first baseman, Joe Randall into right. 1 more run will score. That's Penner from third, and Justin Felix from second. It's an RBI single, a 2-run single that is for Miles Gordon off the glove of the first baseman, Joe Randall. That makes it a 10-7 game in the top of the 7th. And that will chase Kevin Hahn from the ball game. Let's go ahead and try to give you, I think we can do it thanks to Point Streak and their game live function. I think we can give you a full recap of this ball game, play by play. Do our best. The first inning, all the way back to the first inning, began with a pullout, 6-3, Miles Gordon, a ground ball to the shortstop, Luis Pinto, was followed by a strikeout of Andy DeJesus. J.R. Davis reached in the top of the first inning on an error, and Riley Crane would reach first on a strikeout wild pitch. J.R. Davis tried to score from second base. It would be a 2-4-2 ground ball, on that strikeout wild pitch that would end the top of the first inning for the Yarls. They would score 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. It was Tim Holghofer able to get the first out of his half of the ball game on a pop out to the shortstop, Andy DeJesus. Following that, Luis Pintor reached on a strikeout wild pitch. Then it was a base hit for Chad Setio, put runners at first and third. Luis Pintor had stolen second during the Setio at bat. Then Crayport was able to single home Pintor, an RBI base hit for him. That put runners at first and second. Axel Johnson would hit an RBI double, making it a 2-0 game. Runners at second and third for Joe Lytle, who would hit a sacrifice fly. That would make it a 3-0 game as Crayport would score from third. Johnson would actually advance to third on that one. Jordan Brower, an RBI hit, brought home the 4th run of the ball game, and the form of Axel Johnson from third. And that put runners at first base, nobody on for Jordan Brower. Then Connor Perry would make it. Let's see, that would be 5 hits in the inning with a single to put runners at first and second. Then Connor Crane would fly out as the 9th man to bat in the inning in the bottom of the first. At that point, the Yarls led 4-0. Top of the second inning. Elijah McNamee and Grady Cordero and Jose Pujols would bat. It would be a ground ball to the shortstop for McNamee, ground ball to the second baseman Harrison DeNicola for Cordero, and then a pop out to the first baseman Joe Lytle for a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Hahn. Bottom half of the second, it was a better frame for Tim Holghofer. He was able to get Harrison DeNicola to ground out to the second baseman J.R. Davis to lead it off, then a one-out single to Luis Pintor. He advanced to second on the second stolen base of the ball game. During the Chad Setio at bat, he would strike out for the second out, then Trevor Crayport flew out to center. That would conclude the second. We'll try to get back to that recap, but right now it's Andy DeJesus facing the left-handed pitcher. First pitch he sees. Pops it up, back behind the third base dugout, out of play. 0-1 the count. He faces number 33. Number 33 on the roster for the Owls. Go ahead and get back to you 1 second. That's Hayden Wheeler relieving Kevin Hahn. Runner at first, nobody out. Throw over to first. Miles Gordon back standing. It's a 10-7 ball game. Otters have scored 2 in the inning. They were down 5 beginning the top of the 7th. They were down 5 beginning the top of the 6th. They managed to score 5 runs in that inning. We'll give you that recap. Really, hopefully when we can get there. We're through the first 2 in this recap. We're coming to you late because of technical difficulties. Wheeler set at the belt, now the 0-1. And that smash to left, long way, but foul. DeJesus, who bats now, he is currently 0 for 2. DeJesus, back in the 6th inning though, he hit a sacrifice fly to the left fielder, Axel Johnson. That scored Andrew Penner. Now the 0-2 to DeJesus. And that's lined out toward left field. There's a base hit. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out in the top of the 7th. Otters looking to overcome some adversity. That's to say the least. That's something their broadcaster can certainly empathize with at the moment. A lot of technical difficulties. Don't want to keep harping on it, but just want to apologize once more and thank you for sticking with us to this point. Now J.R. Davis bats with runners at first and second, nobody out. Davis, he's collected a base hit in this one, believe a couple actually. Believe he's 2 for 3. Going to check that on the line right now. Meanwhile, first pitch, runners go. The pitch inside, called a strike. The throw down to third, not in time, says third base umpire Kerry Lau. It's a successful double steal. That was a strike on Davis inside part of the plate. Gordon safe at third, and DeJesus safe at second. That is Gordon's second steal of the day. And DeJesus is first. J.R. Davis had a single in the 4th inning. He was caught stealing. And he walked his last time. Now he hits this out towards center field. This should score a run. Underneath it is Perry. Tagging from third is Gordon. The throw will go to third, so the Otters bring it within 2. Sack fly for J.R. Davis. It's a 10-8 ball game in the top of the 7th. Credit J.R. Davis with a sacrifice fly and an RBI. 1 down, still a man in scoring position. It's a 2-run game. Riley Crane bats. Crane doubled his last time up. He is 1 for 3. Faces the lefty Wheeler. Wheeler set at the belt. Here comes the first pitch. Kicks and deals. Breaking ball misses outside. 1-0. Three runs home in the inning. It was a 5-0 game heading into the top of the 6th. Otters scored 5 to tie it. Yarls answered for 5 of their own, and now 3 more for the Otters. Late offense. Trying to win the rubber match of this 3-game set. The 1-0. Thought it might have been a little two-seamer. Seemed to work back toward the zone. Maybe a change from Wheeler. But it misses outside. 2-0. Crane, the former Washburn University Ichabod. It was his double that put both he and Davis in scoring position for Elijah McNamee, who singled them both home. Now this is lifted well out toward left center field. That is splitting the outfielders, and it gets down for extra bases. DeJesus around third. He will score. It's an RBI double for Riley Crane. Now the Otters are within 1. It's a 10-9 ball game in the top of the 7th. Now Crane, 2 for 4, a couple of doubles. Otters trying to mark what would be one of the most unbelievable comebacks in their Frontier League history. Trying to, in back-to-back innings, return from 5-run deficits. Now it's Elijah McNamee, a 2-run single his last time. First pitch swinging, foul tipped into the catcher Crayport's mitt, 0-1. You want defensive alignments? Might as well throw them out. Axel Johnson in left, Connor Perry in center, Connor Crane in right. Around the horn, it's Chad Setio, Luis Pintor, Harrison DeNicola, and Joe Lytle. And catching right now, Hayden Wheeler is Trevor Crayport. Here comes the 0-1 to McNamee. And that misses low. It's off the catcher Crayport's foot. Bounces in front of him, advancing 90 feet with 1 out. Now at third base is Wiley Crane, and he's the tying run. This is unbelievable. This is the most wild, wacky night in baseball since who knows when. I'm stunned. Let's see if they can really leave us agog and agape. Infield will come in. McNamee bats, tying run at third. 1 out, the 1-1. And it's a big fly ball to right field, going back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Elijah McNamee has tied the game in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 5-run comeback for the Otters. They're second in consecutive frames. The RBI double off the right field wall for Elijah McNamee makes it a 10-10 ball game in the top of the 7th. It's enough to make you tongue-tied. Crane scores from third, and the Otters have now scored 10 runs in the 6th and 7th. 5 runs apiece. And it's a 10-10 ball game. This is unbelievable. What in the world of sports is going on here? We're going to have another pitching change. Elijah McNamee. It was a 2-run single for him back in the top of the 6th to bring the Otters within 1 now. A run-scoring double ties the game at 10. And there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out. I just don't believe it. This is the craziest thing of all time. And we're off the air until like the 7th inning. What is going on? We'll be right back. Well, no, we'll continue this recap. That's what we'll do. We're not going to take breaks. When last we concluded our wrap-up, we had gone through 2 innings. Now let's go back to the top of the 3rd. The Otters, if you remember, they hadn't had a hit through the first 2 innings. The only base runner to reach was J.R. Davis on an error by the shortstop Luis Pintor. Well, Kevin Hahn continued his good pitching early. He got Andrew Penner a fly out to left, followed by Justin Felix for the first 2 outs, both flyouts to left. Then Miles Gordon, a ground ball to second base, ended the inning. Now, bottom of the 3rd, what can we tell you? Well, it looked like this for Tim Holdgrafer. Again, he was rebounding after giving up 4 in the first. Axel Johnson flew out to left. Then Joe Lytle, he struck out swinging for the 2nd out. Jordan Brower will be back-to-back punch-outs as it will be a 1-2-3 inning for Tim Holdgrafer. Again, we're back on the air on the Evansville Otters Digital Network in just the most improbable comeback. It was having to re-download the device. Now, here's the most embarrassing thing, because the folks in the booth are entitled to this explanation. I mean, you want to talk about a red face? You're not gonna, no, it's not as bad as like the mic was down the whole time. It's not that bad. The USB plug from the Ethernet was plugged onto the left side of the computer. And would you believe it, plugging it on the right side, we got the audio back. Is that ridiculous or what? I mean, I should be fired for that, how bad that is. That's terrible. Well, now everyone at home knows too, but that is, there is no, not only the Hyatt, it just as unbelievable as that is. But we had Ian Carmeyer up here in the booth, working tirelessly. I mean, we were working like innings 1 through 5, trying everything in the book, and now he knows about 2 hours of his life were wasted for nothing. But great thanks to him. We did try everything, and you had to try everything to figure it out. Well, that's how the Otters got through the first 3 frames. Then it was the top of the 4th inning. Andy DeJesus it was put out unassisted, a ground ball to the first baseman. That was the first out of the inning. Then J.R. Davis had the Otters' first hit with one out. He was aboard. He would be caught stealing by the catcher Crayport for the second out, and then Riley Crane, a ground ball to second, made it a 1-2-3 for the Otters through their first 4 turns at bat. Now, Andrade Cordero faces Alex Wagner, first pitch breaking ball. They appeal down to, the umpire Roger Folks behind second. Somehow he thinks he can ring, or at least say that Cordero offered at the pitch. Well, there's a round one. Riley Cordero. Okay, runner at second. 1 out. 10-10 ball game. 0-1 to Cordero. Fastball at 90. Can't blame him for being behind as he swung through it. 0-2. Cordero, his last time up. Just to confirm, it was an RBI single that scored Elijah McNamee from second and tied the game. McNamee off second now, trying to repeat that here. Give the Otters a lead at 1. With 1 out, the 0-2. That runs in, gets a piece of Cordero. There will be runners at first and second with 1 out, following the hit batsman. Ian's still back. I mean, can you believe that? Is that just the most unbelievable thing of all time? I mean, have you heard any crazy, Charlie Brown-esque, just ridiculous clown behavior? It's incredible. So, there you go. Fool me once, Ethernet cable. Shame on the Ethernet cable. I ain't getting fooled again. I know. You think it's everything else. It's incredible. But here we are in the wackiest of all possible ball games. Now it's Jose Pujols. First pitch breaking ball from Wagner. Cut on and missed. Pujols tonight. Looking for his line. Pujols grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice last time to end the 6th. So far 0 for 3. Looking for his first Otters base hit. Had a home run in the Derby last night that the Otters used to even the series at 1 game apiece. They go back to the off-speed pitch, low outside corner, called a strike. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. That's blocked. And the throw down to third. That's going to be in time to get Elijah McNamee. And there was the block on the pitch in the turf by Crayport. Kept it in front of him. Was able to throw down. And that is a huge out number 2 for the Owls. 2-5, the caught stealing. Cordero advances to second. A 10-10 ball game, 2 out now. Wagner set, the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, but the Otters score 5 in the top of the 7th to tie the game again. They scored 5 in the top of the 6th to tie. The score is 10-10. We're heading to stretch time in Florence, and you could not believe this game if you were here to see it or if you were able to hear it earlier. We're going to go back and continue our recap. Going back now to the bottom of the 4th inning. In that frame, the only other run would score off of Tim Holdreifer. Bottom of the 4th inning. It began with a fly out to right field by Connor Perry. Then Connor Crane would hit a towering drive to left to make it a 5-0 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. A couple notes on the scorecard real quick. My apologies. All right. Then Harrison DeNicola stepped up. DeNicola in the bottom of the 4th inning. He would ground out to first. 3 unassisted. That would be the second out. Then Luis Pinto would draw a walk. And another stolen base for him, his third of the ballgame, put him in scoring position, but Chad Cedillo grounded out to second to end the Orioles' threat. Top of the 5th inning for the Otters. It was another 1-2-3 for Kevin Hahn. Elijah McNamee lined out to the shortstop. Luis Pinto, Andredi Cordero popped out to the third baseman Chad Cedillo, and Jose Pujols would ground out to third as well. All right then, bottom of the 5th for the Orioles. What happened then? Well, Trevor Craveport led it off with a base hit. Again, this is still Tim Holgraper on the mound. Then Axel Johnson would draw a walk. The first 2 men were aboard with nobody out. Joe Lano, he then flew out to center field for the first out, and then Jordan Brower would strike out facing Holgraper. Holgraper up on 100 pitches. He would eventually get out of the inning with Connor Perry batting. Jordan Brower attempted to advance on what I believe would have been a wild pitch. Justin Lewis now going to be on for the Otters. And that caught stealing of Crayport would end the 5th inning. Real quick inning, just want to make sure we get a note together in the press box. So 1 moment before Justin Lewis takes the hill. Justin Lewis. Bottom of the 7th inning, it's a tie ball game, 10-10. First pitch misses outside to Jordan Brower. Jordan Brower, he is 1 for 3. He has struck out twice. Justin Lewis, he relieves Tyler Spring. The 1-0 at 85. That's a called strike outside part of the plate. 1-1. Ryan Brown with you on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Going to try to update our fans also on Facebook and Twitter. And here is a, wow, that's a high hop. J.R. Davis, the throw around to first. And that would likely be an infield single or an error. Because not sure if a good throw even gets him. Would be the only problem. I guess we could. I mean, do we think a good throw gets him? Because I'm not even sure. Because I think he might have been safe in the bag. Was the only. I don't know. Oh, the broadcasters over there. I don't know if they agree with the scoring decision. We'll see what Alex thinks. We'll have to check in later. But for now, it's run and error. Jordan Brower aboard. Either way, that's what matters most. Throw over to first. Connor Perry. He now stands in. Perry led off a 6-run 7th. Sorry, that's a 5-run 6th. Oh, here's a bunt attempt that just goes foul. Riley Crane, in fair territory, stood in front of the bunt, then at the last moment got his glove out of the way so the bunt could roll foul. Connor Perry trying to advance the go-ahead run into scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th. Tie ball game. There's been some wild and wacky stuff trying to fit all of it back in. Connor Perry, he drew a walk his last time up. He was facing, who was he facing? That was Jacob Bowles. Now the 0-1. 86 just below the knees, 1-1. On Connor Perry. Connor Perry kind of sounds like Commodore Perry, doesn't it? Again, going to try to also put together a little update that lets everyone not quite tuned in yet on the YouTube live feed as the 1-1 is fouled off to the left, that the Otters so can you believe it, after a 5-run bottom of the 6th for the Yalls, the Otters put up another 5-er. The 2-2 reaching out, high pop. Cordero over to have a look. That will bounce into the stands behind third. It's a 10-10 ball game. Also want to let folks know that after giving you a lot of headaches, I'm sure, we are back on the Otters digital network. 2-2, another foul ball. Once again, fouled off to the left. Runner at first. Nobody out. Full count on Connor Perry. Choking up on the bat. The 3-2. That misses inside for ball 4. Following a high chopper to the second baseman, J.R. Davis. Now a walk to Perry. Puts that go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out. Once again, wanting to sincerely apologize for these technical difficulties that kept us off the air for the first 6 innings. We were fighting, trying to get up on the air that whole time, and finally able to put together the right piece of magic. So, as disappointed as personally I can say that I am that we weren't on for the first 6, really, really happy we can be on now. Connor Crane stands in. He's already homered in this one. Brower off second, Perry off first. Connor Crane bats. Off speed pitch, misses upstairs, 1-0. Okay, just so you know, we were able to update everyone trying to follow along on social media, Facebook and YouTube, so they know that the score is currently tied at 10 in the bottom of the 7th inning, after the Otters have rallied twice to score 5 runs in back-to-back frames. These two first-place clubs in the West Division. The 1-0 misses inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Wheel play was on. As Crane showed bunt. Otters trying to hold on. Now the 2-0 is pulled back. And that's called a strike. Or if that's not called a strike, I meant to say. That missed low and outside. 3-0. Crunch time now for Justin Lewis. It's Taylor Wright, it looks like. Oh, and we're back. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, yes, we are connected. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. And welcome back once more to the Otters Digital Network. Once again, trying to work through some of the technical difficulties. It is Taylor Wright on the pitch for the Otters. He will be facing Harrison DeNicola. DeNicola, going to tell you what he did his last appearance at the plate. He was facing Jacob Bowles, and he struck out swinging for the second out of that inning. So if I'm piecing this together right, the Yarls in the bottom of the 6th scored 5 runs on 2 outs. With 2 out, is that right? Does that look right in people's scorecards? What's that? 2 hits? Okay. Oh, gotcha, yeah. 2 hits. All with 2 outs. Unbelievable. This has been the craziest game of all time. So we were in, I believe, the bottom of the 5th when last we left our recap. And Tim Holdgrafer was a leadoff base hit to Trevor Crayport in the bottom of the 5th, then a walk to Axel Johnson, and he would get the next 3 outs. I don't believe you, OBS. Okay, there we are. Now we're back. Okay, bases are loaded. Work when we are able to conclude the action, but from now on, let's just hold everything right where it is. The Otters are hoping to do. The bases are loaded. Tie game, 10 apiece. Bottom of the 7th inning, nobody out. Taylor Wright on facing Harrison DeNicola. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Start him with the off-speed pitch. That was a good choice. 0-1 as he swung and missed at the first offering. Brower reached what was ruled an error. Then a couple of wild Crane from Justin Lewis. Now Taylor Wright. With the bases loaded. The 0-1. And there's a breaking ball that missed maybe just off the plate. 1-1. DeNicola, a dangerous hitter. He entered the ball game, batting .335. Don't know how long you can keep him 0 for. He's 0 for 4 entering this AB. The 1-1, and this is hit right out toward right center field. That will be oh no! Elijah McNamee ranges into the gap and he brings it down. It's going to be a run-scoring play for DeNicola, who gives the Yarls an 11-10 lead in the back on a sacrifice fly, but wow, at least fooling one broadcaster. I thought it was extra bases all the way for Harrison DeNicola. Now it's Luis Pintor. .11-10 ball game. Off speed from right. Chad Setio back in the bottom of the 6th. Would walk to load the bases. He was the first batter to face Tyler Spring. 1-1 count on Setio now with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. The Owls lead by a run. Hard hit ground ball to the second baseman, J.R. Davis. Double clutch on to first for the final out. But the Owls regain the lead. Could have been much worse. A sacrifice fly for Harrison DeNicola. Plates are on. It's now 11-10. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Hang with us for just one moment as we're going to try to just switch over servers real quick just to make sure don't lose you again. Okay, next one. Let's try to connect. And as far as, okay, we're going to bars. Let's see some bars. Okay, I think we're back. All right, just hopped over. It's an 11-10 ball game. We will have a left-hander on to pitch for the Owls. That's number 28, Carl Craigie. And let's go ahead and go with the inning of that 5-run 6th. The Otters were able to piece together to tie the game. How did it begin? Well, it looked a little bit like this. Andrew Penner led it off with a single. He would end up coming around to score the Otters' first run of the ball game. Then Justin Felix doubled, putting runners at second and third. Miles Gordon, when he was due up. By the way, it'll be Penner to lead off this inning, don't you know? First pitch to Penner. That's called a strike, 0-1. Now, gotta ask, didn't Felix double in the bottom of the second? Now, the 0-1 is flying away to the right. Out of play. Let's see. Oh, boy. We're fighting it here. Hold on. Penner. Then, oh, I guess it was a, no, I'm sorry. It was a strikeout of Felix that time. Ground ball is short on the 0-2. It's low, but picked by the first baseman, Joe Lytle. So, one down in the top of the 8th. So, okay, now we got it. That's 6th inning. We'll get back to that recap in the next half inning. But just so you know, Penner led it off with a base hit. Then Felix struck out for the first out of the inning. Miles Gordon would single, putting runners at first and third. Then it was a sacrifice fly for Eddie DeJesus. That's how the Otters scored their first run. Now it's Justin Felix, who doubled his last time up. Faces the lefty, Carl Craigie. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. Let's see. The 1-0 is cut on and missed, 1-1. Going to test the streaming quality real quick. The 1-1 behind the fastball is Felix, 1-2. Justin Felix at the dish. He is 1 for 3 today. Go down to first, no swing. Let's see if we can't figure out what is going on here. Felix bats with 2-2. The 2-2 is cut on and missed for the second out.
Okay, hopefully that quality has improved a little bit on the audio stream. Thank you so much for an honest appeal here as relating to this one. We've been through a lot together, you and me both, trying to get the audio stream up and running here for the Otters, fighting through the first 6 innings to get it back up. If you hear anything, if you notice anything, please feel free to say. It's a huge help having an extra pair of ears on standby so that we can follow the Otters in what has been an unbelievable season to this point. They're hoping to continue that here tonight in Florence. Now, it is a 1-0 count on Miles Gordon with 2 out. Gordon, he is 2 for 4. 2-run single his last time, now behind the 89-mile-per-hour fastball, 1-1. The 1-1, that's in the dirt. Turf, I should say. 2-1. (11-6) ball game in the top of the 8th. Gordon facing Craigie. Now the 2-1. There's a called strike on the outside part of the plate at 89, and Miles Gordon not loving it. (2-2), able to chop it foul and stay alive is Gordon. Might have got a piece of him there as he's a little slow to get up. Limping a little bit as he walks it off. It's the catcher Crayport to talk with Craigie, giving Gordon an extra breather. Gordon facing Craigie with 2 out. Here comes the 2-2. Once again, fouled off. The breaking ball, Gordon able to hang in there and stay alive. Otters have rallied twice by down 5 to tie. And here's a fly ball out towards shallow left. A little bit of no man's land, but the left fielder Axel Johnson able to come in and make the play for the final out of the inning. Carl Craigie just does his job. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 8th. Otters still down a run. Let's go ahead and recap that 5-run 6th. Again, the Otters went into the top of the 6th inning, down by 5. 5-0. They had yet to put a run on the scoreboard. They had only logged 1 base hit. And then Andrew Penner led off that inning with the Otters' second hit. Justin Felix would strike out. Miles Gordon singled to put Penner at third. Andy DeJesus drove in the Otters' first run of the evening with a sacrifice fly to left. Scoring from third was Andrew Penner. Then there was a runner at first with 1 out. And J.R. Davis would walk to bring Gordon, who would also steal second, by the way, in that at bat. He's in scoring position then with runners at first and second. Gordon, I don't believe he scored on the Riley Crane double, but I want to make sure to check that first. Oh, Miles Gordon scored. Huh. Wait a minute. Who was on base? Okay, sacrifice. So during the J.R. Davis at bat, Miles Gordon, that's right, he scored on a steal of third, but also a throwing error by the catcher, Trevor Crayport. That's how he came in to score. Then Davis would walk. Crane would double to put runners at second and third with 2 out. Elijah McNamee and a base hit to the right side of the infield. That brought the Otters within 1. Made it a 5-4 ball game. McNamee advanced to second on the throw, so Andretti Cordero could drive him home to tie the ball game with 2 out with an RBI single to right center field. That was a 5-5 ball game heading into the bottom of the 6th. The Yaws would end up scoring 5 more. The Otters would score 5 to tie it, and in their last turn at the plate, the Yaws added 1 more to make it an 11-10 ball game. Taylor Wright faces Trevor Crayport here. The 1-0 now misses outside. 2-0. Jordan Brower reached on an error. Connor Perry reached on a walk. Connor Crane loaded the bases, sacrifice fly, brought a runner home. And now 3-0 to Crayport. Sorry, just checking something real quick. How the bottom of the 7th went down. There by the second baseman. Chad Sedio was the final out. But who flew out to center? Luis Pintor. Did Denigolo walk? 3-0 is in there for a strike. 3-1. Sorry, you're going to hear me mumble for a little bit as we try to put together what happened in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1. That misses outside. It's a leadoff walk to Crayport. Nico had the sacrifice fly and then thought he walked. That was a fly out. That was a ground ball. Final out. Trevor Crayport works the leadoff walk. There we are. All right, all square. Now it's Axel Johnson, runner at first. Nobody out. The runner goes, first pitch, throw down towards second, and that kicks off Andy DeJesus somewhere to throw down. It's a stolen base for Trevor Crayport. Puts an insurance run in scoring position. What do we have here? Trevor Crayport, believe he hit a home run back in the 6th. If memory serves correctly. No, it was a single for him. It was a 2-run single. It was Axel Johnson, who bats now, who hit a 2-run homer, or a 3-run homer that was, back in the 6th. One and one the count on Johnson. Yeah, it was a 3-run homer for him. Now the 1-1 off speed, misses low and away. Right facing Johnson, the 2-1. That misses off. Flew out to the left to end the inning. Okay, believe it or not, I think the scorecard's all put back together again like Humpty Dumpty. (3-1). That misses out. And it's a couple of walks now in the bottom of the 8th. Begin that inning now, Joe Lytle. He's 0 for 3, hit a sac fly back in the 1st. Max Peterson on out of the Otters dugout. There will be no pitching change. He's just on to talk with Wright. A wild back and forth ball game in this one, to say the least. Joe Lytle bats with runners at first and second. And nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Time called at the plate. How about go ahead in the bottom of the 8th inning? We'll give you the defensive alignment for the Otters. It's Penner in left, Gordon in center, and McNamee in right. Around the horn, Cordero at third, DeJesus at short, Davis at second, and Crane at first. And catching right now, Taylor Wright, Justin Felix. Shows bunt, bunted up the third base line, but foul. Otters facing the Florence Yalls. In the rubber match of a 3-game set, last night the Otters won it on a home run derby. They won that derby 6-1. They are down a run here in the rubber match. The bottom of the 8th, 11-10's the score. They lost game 1 of the series in what was also a close 1-run ball game. The Yalls were walk-off winners. The bottom of the 9th inning. Wright jumping ahead of Lytle, 0-1. He comes set. Now the 1-strike pitch. And he showed bunt, pulled back, tried to do a little slap tactic, and he fouls it off at the plate, 0-2. Charge. Otters doing their best to keep this ball game where it is so that they have a chance to rally and tie it once more in the top of the 9th. Here comes the 0-2. Great take from Lytle on the off-speed pitch. This is below the knees, 1-2. Lytle, he flew out to left. His last time up to end a 5-run 6th inning for the Alls. Here comes the 1-2. And swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying into the Otters dugout. Hey-oh. Incoming. Strikeout for the first out of the inning. Bat boy goes to return the baseball bat from everyone's looks inside the Otters dugout. Everyone's okay in there. Keep your head on a swivel, I suppose. Bats are flying. Jordan Brower scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 7th inning, made it an 11-10 ball game. Reach on what was ruled an error. First pitch, this is above the letters, 1-0. Felix will come out to talk with Wright. You probably can imagine, after fighting back in this one a couple of times, the Otters got to be pretty tired. But trying to keep it as close as they can. The 1-0. Underneath to the left, popped up out of play. 1-1 on Jordan Brower. Brower 1 for 4 tonight, an RBI single in a 4-run first. Brower started in game 1 of the series. He went 3 for 5, singling his last 3 plate appearances in that one. Brower playing in his 4th season with the Alls. Move towards second to have a look. (11-10) the score in the bottom of the 8th. The Alls with the lead. Taylor Wright trying to keep it a one-run ball game. The runners go. Pitch misses upstairs, and there will be no throw down. The double steal. And Felix, the catcher, on the pitch that was up and in. Don't know if he wasn't comfortable with the placement of that one or didn't get a good feel of the baseball coming out or just thought it was safer to hold on, needing an out. Now 2 men in scoring position. Chance to score some much-needed insurance from the Alls' perspective. The 2-1. And yes, he did on the check swing. Home plate umpire Jeffrey Spizak says Brower offered. Now 2-2. Crayport off third. Johnson off second. Wright set to deliver, the 2-2. Just below the knees. Now the count is full on Brower. Here comes the 3-2. Fouled back to the netting. Some long at bats for Wright. Facing the Alls. The Otters early on, they were getting out-dueled by Kevin Hahn, the changeup specialist. They were held to 1 hit through the first 5 and then broke through for 5 of their own to tie the game in the 6th. Another 3-2 off speed, fouled back to the netting. They'll do it again. Tim Holdgrafer had rebounded. After a 4-run first inning, he would limit the Alls to just one more after that through his 5 innings of work. The 3-2, grounded foul of first. They'll do it again. Jacob Bowles then came on. The bottom of the 6th inning, walked the first batter he faced in Connor Perry. Then got the next 2 outs before walking Luis Pintor. In the 6th, he was pulled at that moment with the go-ahead run in scoring position, and Tyler Spring would come on to walk a batter that loaded the bases, then give up a base hit to Trevor Crayport. It was a 2-run hit for him that gave the Alls a 2-run lead, and then Axel Johnson would hit a 3-run shot off Spring to make it a 5-run game once more. Another payoff pitch, and it's hammered out toward right center field. Way back, looking up, and against the wall. Miles Gordon crashes into it. This will extend the Alls lead by 1, and the throw to the plate will not be in time to cut down Axel Johnson. It's a 2-run double for Jordan Brower that gives the Alls a 13-10 lead in the bottom of the 8th. And now Max Peterson on out of the Otters dugout to signal for some relief. Taylor Wright, his evening is over. Let's go ahead and continue our recap. How about how the Otters managed to score 5 runs in the top of the 7th inning? Andrew Penner led it off with a base hit, then Justin Felix doubled, putting runners at second and third. Miles Gordon would have a 2-run base hit, cutting the Y'alls lead back down to 3. Andy DeJesus, it's an RBI hit for him that put runners at the corners. Oh no, I'm sorry, put runners at first and second. With still nobody out, then the runners advanced 90 feet on a double steal, second and third, then still with nobody out, J.R. Davis would hit a sacrifice fly to center field, made it a 1-run, no, I'm sorry, at that point, that's a 2-run ball game. Then Miles Gordon would be at second. Andy DeJesus will be at second still after Miles Gordon scored to make it a 2-run game on the J.R. Davis sac fly to center. Riley Crane hit a 2-run, that was a 2-bagger for 1 run. That made it a 1-run game. That was 10-9, and then tying it up with a double of his own was Elijah McNamee. It was a 10-10 ball game in the top of the 7th when Andredi Cordero was hit by a pitch. Elijah McNamee was thrown out at third for the second out of the inning, trying to advance on what would have been a wild pitch. And Jose Pujols struck out to end the top of the 7th. Bottom half of that inning began with Justin Lewis on the mound. Ground ball to the second baseman from Jordan Brower. There was a little bit of a wild throw. He was safe at first. Then Connor Perry and Connor Crane both walked to load the bases. Harrison DeNicola would bring home the go-ahead run with a sacrifice fly to right. It was Taylor Wright who was pitching at that moment on the sacrifice fly. He would then get Luis Pintor to fly out to center and Chad Setio to ground out to second for the final 2 outs. Really, all final 3 he would get. And then top of the 8th for the Otters. So a quick recap of that. They went down 1-2-3. And now here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 runs home. A runner at second, 1 out. Following the 2-run double of Jordan Brower. Samson Abernathy on to pitch. Connor Perry, 1 for 2. He has walked his last 2 times to the plate. (13-10) the score. First pitch to Perry. Slider from Abernathy, called a strike inside part of the plate, 0-1. Connor Perry started his first game of the series last night as the 0-1 is fouled back, 0-2. He went 0 for 4. To our knowledge, Perry picked up his first Y'alls base hit back in the first inning of this one in the Florence uniform. He's now down on the count 0-2 following a foul ball. The 0-2, and that's lifted out toward left. Penner, a few steps back, he makes the catch. 2 are gone. Connor Crane is 1 for 3. He's hit one of 2 home runs for the Y'alls. (13-10) the score here in Florence. Bottom of the 8th inning. Runner at second, 2 out. First pitch from Abernathy. That misses high, 1-0. Abernathy got to take a little bit of BP today on the field. Always want to make sure you got an extra guy available just in case. Abernathy set at the belt, the 1-0. Breaking ball, cut on and missed, 1-1. The 1-1. Fastball from Abernathy. Off the outer edge, 2-1. Would be a save opportunity if Abernathy can hold it here. Don't know whether they'd go to Jonathan Tripp, though I believe he's supposed to start actually over the weekend, so likely to be Joe Doherty. Either he or Andrew Mcdonald would finish this one off, you'd think, by the save totals. 2-1, fouled up and over the net. Backed up now, the count 2-2. Connor Crane in his third year with the Florence Yalls. One of two Cranes going up against each other tonight. Of course, Riley Crane for the Otters over at first. 2-2 with 2 out. And it's another foul ball. This time skied right side behind first, out of play. Connor Crane, formerly of McNeese State University in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Most recent big leaguer to attend McNeese State University. How about Jase Peterson? Jase Peterson, you might know the name. Been around baseball since 2014 when he broke through with the Padres. Currently with the Milwaukee Brewers. 2-2, fouled back and out of play. Talking about guys who've spent time at McNeese State University and Lake Charles, two of the longest tenured. No doubt you remember Clay Buchholz, formerly of the Boston Red Sox. World Series winner in 2013, two-time All-Star. Abernathy set. The 2-2, up and in. Bending out of the way is Connor Crane. Second longest was one Bob Howery. Bob Howery, you may remember, pitched between 1998 2010. Pretty good pitcher during his time as a reliever. Chicago White Sox, a few years with the Cubs later in his career. The 3-2 misses outside. The runner was going. Brower now at third. Stolen base now Crane. At first, following the 1, misses away, 1-1. Crane off first, and Harrison DeNicola at bat. DeNicola 0 for 4 to this point. Hit a sacrifice fly to right his last time up. Fly ball to left, coming in Andrew Penner, and the inning is over. 2-run score for the Alls. They extend their lead to 3. It's a 13-10 ball game. Otters going to try to rally for the third time tonight. They have 3 outs to try to score 3 runs. They've done it twice already. They've come back from larger deficits. They were down 5-0 at the top of the 6th inning. Managed to score 5 in that frame to tie it. Then the Alls added 5 of their own in that same 6th inning. But improbably, the Otters managed to score another 5 spot in the top of the 7th to tie the game at 10. So they will be hoping for at least 3. Though they sure wouldn't mind 5. They'll have a good part of the order due up to try and shake things up once more. And it will be Andrew Mcdonald, the right-hander on the mound for the Alls. And I'm going to throw out a little eyeball, I think. Where should you toss this thing? Where do you guys usually, Connor? Anywhere you like? Where do you recommend throwing it? Throw it anywhere. But who wants it though? I like the old Swaggies. Am I supposed to do it now? By now? By when? Oh, I like that. I like that green shirt right there. Oh! And they can't make a play? What is this? Unbelievable. Sorry, we were tossing out eyeballs from the press box here. Pardon the little delay. It's not every day you get to throw an eyeball at somebody. But they make it happen here at Y'all's Ballpark. You want to throw an eyeball at somebody, and by goodness, they will find a way to let you throw an eyeball at somebody. That's hospitality. Y'all's way. Andy DeJesus stands in the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Otters. Rubber match of a 3-game set. Otters won last night on a home run derby. They're down 3. 13-10 is the score. Mcdonald facing DeJesus. First pitch, 93, the fastball outside part of the plate, called a strike. 0-1. DeJesus singled his last time. He's 1 for 3. Mcdonald, he enters as the 0-1 is fouled back. With an 0-1 record, a .655 earned run average. He's thrown 11 innings, allowed 14 hits, and 8 runs in those 11 innings. He struck out 16 as well, however, and walked just 2, so looks like you might be able to expect him to throw strikes. The 0-2 pounding the zone, fouled back. Count remains 0-2. McDonald, the former 9th-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in 2018. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses just off the plate. 1-2. And a little excuse me swing there on the 1-2 is a comebacker to McDonald. He's off the mound to his left and throws on to first for the first out of the 9th inning. Otters will be back at it tomorrow against the Southern Illinois Miners at home, back at Bosse Field. Starting a 3-game set with the third place team in the West Division. First pitch to J.R. Davis. They start him off with the off-speed pitch outside part of the plate, called a strike, 0-1. Behind 94, fouling it off to the right, out of play. Now 0-2. And it's a liner right back up the middle. Ranging over, trying to make the play is Harrison DeNicola. But right behind second, he's not able to come up with the ball, so it'll go as a base hit for J.R. Davis. Otters will have a one-out base runner in the top of the ninth. And 13-10 ball game. Here comes Riley Crane. He is 2 for 4, back-to-back doubles in back-to-back at-bats entering this one. It was a run-scoring two-bagger his last time. Brought the Otters within one. First pitch swinging, fouling it back to the netting, 0-1. Otters, they're going to try to just keep that line moving. Tying run in the on-deck circle is Elijah McNamee. The 0-1. And that's taken out toward left. It's a high fly ball. Axel Johnson underneath it. And the Otters are down to their final out as Johnson makes the catch. Tomorrow night, it will be a Deaconess Healthy Evansville night. 6:35 first pitch to be followed by Cancer Pathways Midwest Saturday night ball game. Also at 6:35, and then Sunday night's game to conclude the brief 3-game homestand, Another Dog Days of Summer. Elijah McNamee, last chance for the Otters. First pitch, swing and a miss behind 94, 0-1. If the Alls manage to hold on, they will improve to 28-16 on the season and move a game ahead of the Otters in first place in the West Division. This is in the turf. Backhanded by Crayport, the catcher. McNamee, one heck of a ball game. Battler, 2 for 4, 3 runs driven in. He brought the Otters within one with a 2-run single in the 6th. RBI double his last time. The 1-1. That misses out. 2 balls and 1 strike. McNamee already extended on-base streak of his to 6 games. The 2-1 is backhanded. Now 3-1 on the Otters' right fielder. Tying run in the form of Andrade Cordero. Waits on deck with 2 out, a runner aboard. 13-10 the score in the top of the ninth. Miles Gordon extended on-base streak of his earlier in tonight's ball game to 14 games. Longest of record right now for the Otters. 3-1. And it's lined out toward left field down the line. The tying run will bat in the top of the ninth. Elijah McNamee's at second with his second double of the ball game. He's now 3 for 5. And Andrade Cordero, last night's home run derby masher, will step to the plate as the tying run. And in a game that has already been so impossible, could something truly unbelievable happen here? to paraphrase somebody else who said it a long time ago. And now we'll have a brief mound visit. I believe that's Brian White on to talk with Andrew Mcdonald. Cordero, who led the Frisco Rough Riders, Double-A for the Texas Rangers in 2019 with 16 home runs that season, and with ribbies in that same season in the entire Texas League. First pitch is taken out toward right field. This ought to do it. Underneath it is Connor Crane. Otters, they're able to get that tying run to the plate in the top of the ninth, and boy, did they battle. But they fall by a 13-10 margin through 8 1/2. The Yalls pick up the rubber match. They take 2 of 3 from the Otters on the road. They improve to 28-16. Otters fall to 27-17. But credit the Evansville Otters, who battled back not once but twice from 5-run deficits, scoring 5 runs in the top of the 6th inning to tie it at 5. Another 5 just an inning later in the top of the 7th to tie it at 10. Unfortunately for them, the bullpen continues to be a little bit shaky at the moment, trying to get guys back into the roles since coming off of injuries, get back comfortable once more. But it is a 13-10 final here in Florence. The Yalls picking up the rubber match of this series. The Otters will be back at it tomorrow, 6:35 Eastern. First pitch, 6:20 pregame show on the Frontier League's live TV. I want to thank you so much for sticking around with us. I know we were dodging a ton of stuff in terms of technical difficulties. Didn't get on live until the 7th inning. Battling still throughout connectivity problems through that part. Just cannot thank you enough. I want to express how deeply and sincerely sorry I am that we weren't able to get to you sooner with the call-in, with the broadcast, but know how much we wanted to be on the air to bring this ball game to you, and going to be working doubly as hard to make sure that those errors are fewer and far between in the future. I want to thank you so much. My name's Brian Brown. Thank you so much for joining me. Last few innings of baseball. Unfortunately, the Otters not able to tie it up once more. They fall 13-2. They will take on the Southern Illinois Miners tomorrow. That's Friday, July 16th, 6:35. First pitch, 6:20. You can catch us on Frontier League Live TV. Let's chat tomorrow.